if the brand you've been ignoring your whole life just be the one you trust the most? Everyone's saying Chinese motorcycles are taking over, but viral isn't the same as true. I've heard that claim for a while. I just never checked if it actually holds up. So this time, I did. 2 years ago, this bike didn't exist. Then it beat Ducati and Kawasaki on a racetrack. First time that's ever happened. That part's real. What it actually means? That's next. Subscribe and find out with me. I went in skeptical. Chinese brands are dethroning Japan is the kind of line that spreads because it's catchy, not because it's checked. So I pulled the actual numbers. CFMoto's sales in the US are up over 70% this year. Yamaha, Suzuki, KTM, all posting single digits. In Europe, up 40%. In France, a market that's picky about heritage and design, CFMoto is now outselling Ducati, KTM, and Suzuki. That's not a headline. That's registration data. And it's not a one-year fluke either. CFMoto crossed 250,000 motorcycles sold globally in 2025, a new record. And that came after 79% growth the year before. This isn't a spike. It's a curve that's been climbing for years. So something is real here. The question is what it actually means. Here's the part nobody puts in the headline. That growth isn't happening everywhere. In Africa, one of the largest motorcycle markets on Earth, Chinese exports are surging too, up 63% in a year. But CFMoto barely shows up there. That market still belongs to Bajaj and TVS. Latin America's up nearly 43%. ASEAN, same number. CFMoto's even picked up a quarter of the entire European ATV market, the kind of share that would have been unthinkable a decade ago, and enough to rank first in 17 different countries. So this isn't a motorcycle story anymore. It's a pattern showing up everywhere Chinese manufacturers compete on price and infrastructure at the same time. And in the US, walk into a dealership and you'll still hear it. Yeah, but it's Chinese. Nobody says that about their phone. So it's not Chinese brands are taking over. It's more specific. They're winning certain lanes. Mid-displacement performance, Europe, ATVs. Everywhere else, they're still earning it. Brand loyalty isn't rational. It's decades of knowing your dealer has the part next week, not next month. Honda didn't earn that in a year. And the manufacturers know this is their real weak point now, not the engineering. Independent reviews keep saying the same thing. It's dealer support and parts logistics lagging behind, not the bikes themselves. So if you're skeptical of a Chinese bike, you're not wrong. You're just skeptical of the right thing. CFMoto's own VP of European sales put it plainly in an interview. No difference in warranty claims between their joint venture models and the fully in-house ones. Return rates are low across the board. That's not a company hoping quality holds up. That's a company that's already measured it. Here's what most people are missing. That 675 triple in my bike, fully in-house, not a rebadge. The KTM joint venture didn't just license cheap production, it forced real manufacturing discipline. Kayaba suspension, J1 brakes, that's Brembo's own subsidiary. Same supply chain as Ducati. And the brand I opened with? ZXMOTO. Started April 2024. Founder was a teenage mechanic's apprentice from Hunan. Before ZXMOTO, he co-founded another motorcycle brand back in 2017. This wasn't beginner's luck. It was someone who already understood the industry, betting on himself a second time. And here's the detail that gets left out of the headlines. After the win, Zhang restricted sales of the race-winning model to riders with less than a year of experience, even though he knew it would cost the company orders. That's not a marketing move. That's someone who built the fastest bike in the company's history and immediately worried about who'd be riding it. First bike shipped March 2025. 1 year later, first Chinese manufacturer in history to win a World Supersport race, twice in a row. That's not marketing. That's a stopwatch. Am I saying Chinese brands have already dethroned Japan? No, nobody knows that yet. But I don't need to know how this ends to want to be part of the beginning. I want to say I rode one before the badge meant anything to anyone else. If this becomes what Honda was in the 70s, I was early. If it doesn't, it cost me $8,000 to find out, not 20.
And even that number needs context. This same bike sells for around $5,800 in China. The gap isn't the company padding margins. It's homologation, certification, and the dealer network required to make a bike like this legal and serviceable outside its home market. That's the real cost of trust, and it's baked into the price, whether the badge is Japanese, European, or Chinese.
Not blind faith, just curiosity, priced low enough to act on. So, yeah, I bought it. Chinese motorcycles aren't the first underdog I've bet on early, and they won't be the last. But if you've ever backed a brand before everyone else took it seriously, Chinese, Japanese, anything, tell me what it was in the comments. And if you want to see whether betting on this one actually pays off, subscribe. I'm documenting every mile of it, good or bad.